If you found my channel in the pursuit of a well-managed home, one that didn't stress you out or create a constant to-do list, but instead supported the life you were trying to build, how's it going? The work of managing a household is daunting, perhaps especially for those who are doing so while also working a full-time job. Our culture doesn't place great value on a well-run home, and yet the papers still need to be signed, the bills paid, the birthdays remembered, the meals planned, and the bathrooms cleaned. It's not about the tasks. It's not about the to-dos. It's not about the lack of time. This work is truly perpetual. Once the carpets are vacuumed, they'll need to be done again next week, maybe sooner. You're wearing your next load of laundry, and your family keeps wanting to eat 3 times a day. I think we need a bigger why if we're going to keep doing this kind of work, often unseen, usually underappreciated, but exceptionally necessary. You likely didn't come to the conclusion that your house needed better routines and systems because of a desire to innovate. You probably found yourself rushing around in the morning, robbing clothes from the dryer that might never get folded. You looked longingly at the chair in your bedroom to plop down and read a book, but first you'd have to discern what was clean and what was dirty, and you absolutely didn't want to read badly enough to search through that pile and solve your laundry problem. Maybe you got tired of deciding if you could host book club because that would take days of preparation to be able to open your doors without embarrassment. Perhaps you, like me, got tired of shifting your piles from one room to another to hide how messy you really were when you dared to open your door. You weren't trying to find a laundry routine or a cleaning schedule. You were trying to find peace. You wanted a morning routine that flowed easily, where most of your clothes were clean, hung and folded, and you knew right where to put your pajamas because your hamper was there and ready to start that morning's load. You wanted to grab a meal-prepped breakfast from your fridge and take a minute to play with your kids before you parted ways for school and work. And you could because the lunches that had been bulk packed at the beginning of the week and the clothing decisions had been made in advance, so the morning was just easier. You wanted a commute where you just drove or prayed or caught up with your teenager who rarely wants to talk except in the car, instead of trying to put on your eye makeup at stoplights. You wanted a life where you trusted yourself, that you did respond to the invitation, send the gift, reply to the email, sign the permission slip. You knew for sure because you knew which day you had handled those things on. And your husband and your family knew that you could be counted on too. You knew you wouldn't need to run to the school in between work meetings with a Lunchable because you weren't so scattered anymore, and you helped Tuesday you on Sunday night when you packed the lunches. Why, even you are now eating a nutritious lunch because you packed a whole week of lunches to tote with you to work on Monday mornings. You wanted an after-work rhythm that didn't include deciding if it was worth braving the grocery store, making a dinner decision, or if a drive-through would just have to suffice for one more night. Instead, you knew you had a few dinner options already prepped in the fridge, so even if your family was about to rush off to 5 different places, you could enjoy a nutritious meal first and do virtually no dishes afterward. Yes, you were seeking peace. You wanted to trust yourself again. You wanted to be the person at home that you knew you were when you watched yourself be a caring friend and a reliable colleague. You knew you had this in you. You just ran out of steam and no longer found yourself bringing the best of you to your household. As you are putting great routines into place, I hope you will remember that you're not doing the laundry and the dishes and scrubbing toilets just so that you can do it all again in an hour or a day or next week. You're doing all of this to free yourself up for a much greater yes. When your home is in order, you'll be able to open your doors last minute to a friend who needs a place to stay that night. You'll be able to pull a meal from your well-stocked freezer when your best friend texts that it's been a hard day. You'll be able to say yes to the volunteer opportunity, the children who want to be played with, into connection, real connection with your husband. You'll be able to have time and energy to try a hobby or re-engage in one that hasn't been enjoyed in years. We aren't just doing housework, we're creating a safe place for ourselves, our families, and our guests. And this work matters. I'd love to know in the comments, where are you at in this journey? Are you just starting out? Are you beginning to feel relief? Are you experiencing the freedom of a well-run home? Starting is the hardest part, and I'm so glad you're here. I hope as you do your housework this week that you'll remember your better why. I want to offer a little bit of encouragement for both people who are just starting out and for people who can't seem to stop the homemaking. And so if you're just starting out, I want to encourage you to really consider doing the tasks that need to get done in the right order. And what I mean by that is really focusing on getting into a great daily routine where dishes and laundry and daily stuff like that gets handled. And once you really feel like you have that under control, move into tasks that get done once a week, like vacuuming, cleaning the bathrooms, things like that. And once you have that down, and it could be years, that's when you could start to do things that are more project-based, like decluttering or doing deeper cleaning or spring cleaning. But don't pressure yourself with that kind of thing right now. Just focus on the things that really move the needle, which truly are the daily and weekly, mundane, not very exciting tasks. You'll be so glad that you did, and that's really where you'll find a lot of freedom in your home. And then if you're a person like me who tends to be very work before play and who doesn't really know when the work is finished, I think you may find that the to-do list and these routines are really helpful because you can tangibly see every day that you have checked all of the items off of your list. And it is now time to rest or to serve a friend or to volunteer or to do something that's meaningful with your family. And it is no longer time to just do the mundane tasks of your household. And so it is permission to rest. It's an invitation to rest because you have set the stage for it by doing all of the housework that you have so diligently done. So I appreciate you watching today. I hope this has been encouraging, and I hope you'll keep at it. This work really does matter.